You guys, we spend so much time obsessing over macros, calories, and killer workouts. But what if I told you there's a silent saboteur lurking within, wreaking havoc on your fitness goals? It's not about willpower, it's about hormones, specifically cortisol. You know, that stress hormone we're all familiar with. We're diving deep into the treacherous world of cortisol and its impact on your physique. Get ready to understand how this sneaky hormone could be the missing link between you and those hard-earned gains. Because trust me, knowledge is power. And once you understand how cortisol operates, you can take control and unleash your full fitness potential. Let's get down to business. Picture this. You're hitting the gym hard, pushing for that muscle growth. But little do you know, cortisol is working against you. See, cortisol is a catabolic hormone. In other words, it breaks down muscle tissue to release energy. Now, don't get me wrong, we need cortisol to function. It's our fight or flight hormone, essential for dealing with stress. But when we're chronically stressed, cortisol levels remain elevated, leading to excessive muscle breakdown. That's right, all your hard work building those biceps and glutes could be undermined by sky-high cortisol. We're talking decreased muscle mass, slower metabolism, and a serious uphill battle to reach your fitness goals. It's like taking one step forward and 2 steps back. But don't throw in the towel just yet. Understanding how cortisol affects muscle breakdown is the first step to fighting back. We'll get to strategies for managing cortisol levels later on, so stay with me. Okay, let's talk about fat, specifically that stubborn belly fat that just won't quit. You know the one. Cortisol plays a nasty role here too. When you're stressed and cortisol is pumping through your system, it sends a signal to your body to store fat, particularly around your midsection. This type of fat, known as visceral fat, is more than just unsightly. It's dangerous. Visceral fat is linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other health problems. So not only does cortisol make it harder to lose fat, but it also puts your health at risk. But here's the kicker. Cortisol also messes with your appetite hormones. It increases cravings for sugary, fatty foods, those comfort foods that seem so appealing when you're feeling stressed. It's a vicious cycle. Stress leads to higher cortisol, which leads to poor food choices and increased fat storage, particularly around the belly. But don't worry, we're not doomed. By understanding cortisol's impact on fat accumulation and appetite, we can make smarter choices to manage stress and regain control of our waistlines. We've talked about cortisol breaking down muscle, but it also interferes with muscle repair. After a tough workout, your body needs to repair those micro-tears and muscle fibers to build back stronger. This process is called protein synthesis. Guess what? Cortisol throws a wrench in that too. When cortisol levels are chronically high, protein synthesis takes a nosedive, meaning your muscles aren't recovering and rebuilding as efficiently. It's like trying to build a house with shoddy materials. This means slower progress, decreased athletic performance, and an increased risk of injury. You're working hard in the gym, but cortisol is holding you back from reaping the full rewards of your efforts. It's frustrating, I know, but understanding how cortisol affects protein synthesis highlights the importance of managing stress and supporting your body's natural recovery processes. Hold on to your hats, folks, because cortisol's reign of terror on your fitness goals doesn't stop there. Not only does it break down muscle and hinder repair, but it also messes with your testosterone levels. Testosterone is crucial for building muscle, increasing strength, and boosting energy levels. But here's the problem. Cortisol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. As cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. It's like a seesaw battle, and cortisol is always trying to tip the scales in its favor. This means that chronic stress can lead to lower testosterone levels, making it even harder to build muscle and achieve the physique you're after. It's like trying to run a race with an anchor tied to your ankle. But don't despair. We'll discuss strategies to combat this hormonal imbalance and reclaim your testosterone levels. Let's talk about those late-night cravings and emotional eating episodes. Ever wonder why you reach for the cookie jar after a stressful day? You can thank cortisol for that. Cortisol disrupts your hunger hormones, specifically leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is responsible for telling your brain when you're full, while ghrelin stimulates appetite. Cortisol throws these hormones out of whack, making you feel hungrier even when you've had enough to eat. And to make matters worse, Cortisol increases cravings for sugary, high-fat foods, those comfort foods that seem to provide temporary relief from stress. It's a recipe for disaster. You're more likely to overeat, make unhealthy choices, and sabotage your weight management efforts. But here's the good news. By learning to manage stress and balance cortisol levels, you can regain control of your appetite, make healthier food choices, and break free from the cravings conspiracy. We all know that rest and recovery are just as important as crushing it in the gym. But guess what? Cortisol throws a wrench in your recovery plans too. When you're constantly stressed and cortisol levels are elevated, your body stays in a heightened state of alert, making it difficult to truly relax and recover. This means your muscles don't repair as quickly, your energy levels stay low, and you're more susceptible to injury. It's like trying to drive a car with the emergency brake on. You might be putting in the effort, but you're not going to get very far. Cortisol's interference with recovery can lead to a vicious cycle of fatigue, decreased performance, and increased risk of setbacks. But by prioritizing stress management techniques and supporting your body's natural recovery processes, you can overcome cortisol's interference and optimize your fitness journey. Here's a scary thought. Chronic stress and the elevated cortisol levels that come with it can weaken your immune system. You know, that system that's supposed to protect you from those nasty bugs going around? Cortisol suppresses the immune response, making you more susceptible to colds, flu, and other infections. And when you're sick, you're not hitting the gym or sticking to your healthy eating plan. It's a double whammy for your fitness goals. But it goes beyond just catching a cold. Chronic stress and a weakened immune system can lead to inflammation throughout the body, further hindering recovery and increasing the risk of injury. It's like trying to run a marathon with a sprained ankle. By managing stress and keeping cortisol levels in check, you're not just protecting your physical health, but also supporting your immune system and setting yourself up for fitness success. Let's talk about sleep, or lack thereof. We all know how crucial a good night's sleep is for our overall health, but it's especially important for fitness enthusiasts. Sleep is when our bodies repair muscle tissue, replenish energy stores, and optimize hormone production. But here's the catch: cortisol can wreak havoc on our sleep patterns. Remember how cortisol is our fight or flight hormone? Well, when cortisol levels are elevated at night, it disrupts our sleep-wake cycle, making it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. This means we're not getting the restorative sleep our bodies need to recover from workouts, build muscle, and function at our best. It's like trying to charge your phone with a faulty charger. You might get a little bit of juice, but it's not going to fully power you up. By managing stress and implementing strategies to improve sleep hygiene, we can minimize cortisol's nighttime sabotage and wake up feeling refreshed, recovered, and ready to conquer our fitness goals. We've covered a lot of ground on cortisol's impact on our muscles, metabolism, and recovery, but here's another reason to keep this hormone in check. Cortisol can affect bone health. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can interfere with bone formation and increase bone breakdown, leading to reduced bone density. This means weaker bones, an increased risk of fractures, and potential setbacks in your fitness journey. Imagine trying to build a strong, powerful physique on a foundation of weakened bones. It's not a recipe for success. While it's not often discussed, cortisol's impact on bone health is a crucial factor to consider, especially for those of us who are passionate about maintaining an active lifestyle as we age. By managing stress, we're not just protecting our current fitness levels, but also investing in our long-term bone health and ensuring a lifetime of mobility and strength. We've arrived at our final destination on this cortisol roller coaster ride, and it's a big one: cardiovascular health. You guys, our hearts are incredible organs, working tirelessly to keep us going, but chronic stress can take a toll. Elevated cortisol levels can contribute to high blood pressure, increased heart rate, and inflammation in the arteries. This means your heart is working harder than it should, increasing the risk of heart disease and other cardiovascular problems. It's like constantly driving your car in high gear. Sure, you might get where you need to go faster, but you're putting unnecessary strain on the engine. By managing stress and keeping cortisol levels in check, we're not just protecting our hearts, but also ensuring that we can continue to push ourselves physically and achieve our fitness goals for years to come. We've covered a lot of ground today, and it's been a real eye-opener about the impact cortisol can have on our fitness journeys. From muscle breakdown and fat storage to impaired recovery and weakened immune function, cortisol's reach is far and wide. But here's the good news. We're not powerless against this hormone. By incorporating stress-reducing practices into our lives, such as meditation, yoga, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking time for ourselves, we can regain control of our cortisol levels and create an environment where our bodies can thrive. Remember, achieving our fitness goals is not just about pushing ourselves physically, but also about prioritizing our mental and emotional well-being. By managing stress, nourishing our bodies with whole foods, getting enough sleep, and moving our bodies in ways that feel good, we can optimize our hormonal balance and unlock our full fitness potential. So let's ditch the cortisol excuses and create a life we love inside and out.